This is Corey. Corey runs an HVAC business with his wife doing over $1.2 million per year in revenue. But number one, that $1.2 million isn't all profit. And number two, he has $60,000 in debt that he wants to get rid of. I'm Alex Hormozi. I own acquisition.com, which is a portfolio of companies that did over $250 million last year in aggregate revenue. We have several service-based businesses in our portfolio, so I've done a lot of thinking about the problems that Corey's dealing with. And so first, we're gonna deep dive into the business, and then we're gonna break down all the tactics that he and you can use to scale. And at the end, we're gonna check in with Corey 1 year later.
Originally, we were doing about 1.25 million in sales. Currently,
see if the tactics actually helped him scale his business. So let's meet Corey.
What's going on, Alex? My name is Corey.
What's up?
I own ProShine Professional Cleaning with my wife, Nicole. We are an HVAC cleaning and ductwork repair company.
What problem are you trying to solve?
So right now, we're allocating about 10% of our profit going towards paying off some of our debt.
How much debt you got?
It's about 60,000.
Okay.
And then lead generation. We're trying to get higher quantity of leads, also leads that are higher value clients. On the bottom of that is just to really just help our client with our booking process. I think that we can streamline it a little bit better, make it easier on them, and then also not lose out on the possibilities of upsells or anything like that throughout that process.
Why is solving this important? What happens if you don't fix this?
First and foremost, we're a people company. So we really go out in the community and just do the right thing. And I'm grateful to have guys on my team that really share that goal. It makes our life a lot easier. That's why it's important to us, so we can help more people and then also grow our business.
All right, awesome. Okay, so how do you make money?
This is actually where ProShine's a little bit unique. For our HVAC cleaning, full in price for us is $1,575 per HVAC unit.
Okay.
Each house we do has about 2 units. So with that $1,575, we have a 2-year growth-free guarantee. What that is when we come out, we make sure that we're disinfecting that ductwork properly, killing any kind of bacterial growth. So clients love having that guarantee in place so that they don't have to worry about it in the future. And then we have ductwork rewrapping, which is pretty much replacing the old insulation. And then also our dry vent cleaning, which is $175.
Do you show customers pictures of the inside of their vents?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
so actually we have a customer profile so they can access any point in time. So if they want to sell their home, they can use it as an advantage for them.
I like that. Where do you get your customers?
All right, so we have a couple different channels. 60% come from paid ads. 3,000 a month go from Google. We actually just upped that a couple days ago to 5,000. And then also 650 from Facebook. Facebook is very new for us. We just started the last 2 weeks. And then 15% of our job flow comes from local SEO, which is a third-party company. And then affiliates and referrals are a very big portion for us because we are partnered with a lot of HVAC companies in our area. One of them actually sends us about $30K a month. So we really just want to replicate what they have going on and then share that with our other partners.
So what's the advantage to that affiliate sending you the $30,000 a month?
We actually send them back roughly $40,000 to $45,000 because they have higher ticket items. So when they go in, they're doing full replacements where we're doing some patchwork and some cleaning. Say they send us 20 leads, we'll send them maybe 4 or 5. But they make double what we would have done.
So Corey has a unique affiliate strategy, which is that he purposely limits his own services so that he doesn't compete with other businesses in his quote space. And so he refers them the high ticket business, but then they refer him some percentage of their business. But the beauty of this model is that he's able to do this with tons of high ticket providers so that he has almost limitless lead flow of people coming towards him basically for free. So give me whatever other numbers you think I should know.
Our numbers right now, 1.25 million over the last 12 months. Profit on that is 479,000. Our net margin is 38%. So our marketing spend right now is just under 7,200 as far as our marketing strategy altogether. Our show rate, actually funny enough, is 99% because it's the 1% that the client just happens to not be home where they forgot about our appointment. And then our close rate is 82%.
If we double the lead flow of the business, can you handle that?
Yes. So actually, we just hired on 2 more employees and we just got a 3rd van.
Right off the bat, in every business, I think the first problem I try to delineate is this a supply constrained business or a demand constrained business? Meaning, if we can double the lead flow and they can handle it, then it's a demand constrained business. If we double the lead flow and they can't handle it, then it means that we got to go build the resources and infrastructure to be able to handle a double in lead flow in the future. And I think this is such a common thing that I see with business owners. They're trying to fix a problem that's already a problem that if you fix it, makes your existing problem worse. I got a bunch of notes. I think we might be able to help you get more people, more impact, and more clean air.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, let's do it. There's nothing majorly wrong. And so that's the good news. And obviously you have 38% margins, you're growing. The last thing I want to do is break something.
Right.
And so I think this is gonna be a game of incremental improvement.
Right.
Like no Hail Marys.
Yep.
This is just consistent yardage.
Trust the process, right?
Yeah. Number one, I think that there's actually still some more room for pricing. Number two, let's talk about the debt. Number 3, talk about the affiliate piece.
Okay.
4, we'll go funnel conversion rate optimization. And then 5 will go ads.
Perfect.
6, reactivation. Emails. Corey's at stage 5 on the $100 million scaling roadmap. He's at productized. So he's got 10 to 19 people who work in the business. He's got maybe 2 or 3 people in the business that are kind of like manager leaders that are running this thing. Now, some of the issues that he's dealing with is that customers are having nothing else to buy and churn. We have to figure out how we can get more repeat business for the business. His qualified leads are too expensive and cap your ability to advertise. And so what we're doing is we're trying to improve the throughput on his existing advertising process so that he can get more leads because he can handle more leads. We're creating more sales materials, tweaking pricing, sales process, creating a CS playbook. All of this stuff is the things that happen all the time at the productized stage. And so if you're like, shoot, that's almost exactly what he's going through. That's because businesses behave in patterns. And so if you're not sure what stage of business you're at, this scaling roadmap is 100% free. You can go and get it at acquisition.com/roadmap and put in your business details. And on the thank you page, if you would like our help actually helping you debottleneck these things, kind of like what I'm doing with Corey here in person at my headquarters, on the thank you page, just schedule a call. My team would love to have a conversation with you. Worst case scenario, we provide value. Best case, we'll see you out here in Vegas. So first things first, the price. So you did a 23% price increase after the first time we talked to you. Okay. Right. And so that resulted in a higher close rate and more money.
Right.
Wonderful. So Corey had actually come to one of our workshops at acquisition.com earlier, and we had made this first initial suggestion, which is like, hey, bump your prices. And he obviously saw a big improvement, right? He was able to charge more and close more. And the reason we made that recommendation is because we looked at, businesses in that space and we're like, we think you're mispriced. Some people may be like, how could you raise prices and close more? Well, let me explain. There's 2 scenarios where this could be true. One is something called a Veblen good, which in economic terms is usually like a high-end luxury item. So like a Rolex, sometimes if something goes up in price, it becomes more sought after. That's not what happens for Corey because he's in the other bucket, right? No one's like bragging at their Rotary Club about how much they spent on their HVAC. So instead what happens is that if you have what I would consider a normal business providing a normal service or product, if you raise your prices, what sometimes happens is that the conviction of the customer that you can actually deliver on the promise you're making goes up. And so on the value equation, which I'll talk about in this book, it actually increases the perceived likelihood of achievement. So by raising the price, we actually increase the value. And this is why I talk about charging premium prices. Page 48 in the offers book, I talk about the virtuous cycle of pricing. And so what happens is if you raise your price, you increase the emotional investment, you increase the perceived value, you increase the results, and you decrease the demandingness of the customer, you get more money to actually deliver. And so what happens is a lot of times people will just try and they're so afraid of charging money that they actually sell themselves out of a sale because it's so low price that they're like, gosh, this guy seems like a super seedy duct tape operation, right? And so many of you, especially newer business owners, I'd say call it 3, sometimes 5 million in revenue. Some of the biggest levers that exist in the business is simply charging more because people actually believe you can deliver the service now. So whenever I hear 80% or over 80% close rates, I usually know that there's room. And so basically what I penciled out was a 10% price raise. This is more asking than telling. We would have to believe that we're not going to drop to 65%. As long as we close more than 65%, we make more money. Thing is that 10% price raise for you equals roughly a 25% increase in net profit.
Right.
So that'd be roughly 100,000+ a year. Right. And that's at last year's volume in profit. So that's number 1. Does that sound something that you could stomach or no?
Yeah, 100%.
So the second thing is how fast do you plan on paying off this $60K debt that you have?
We are planned to pay off completely in the next 4 to 5 months.
Okay, good. That's one of those things that I would say this is more an emotional thing, but it's just this back of mind thing.
Right.
If there's a range of Dave Ramsey and then Wall Street, I tend to skew very close to the Ramsey side. And the single argument that I have around it is basically debt increases risk. Mm-hmm. Risk, when multiplied over a long time horizon, tends to come due. And so businesses have seasons, they have volatility. And why did I take the debt out to begin with? A lot of times it's because I wanted to grow faster. Right. You know what I mean? Right. If you look at some of the most enduring companies, a lot of them like Chick-fil-A operate debt-free. Yep. Let's do ad stuff first, then I'll circle back to affiliates. Cool. So let's pull up the page that the Google ads are going to. Right now, this is where the ads are going. Right now, what most people are probably doing is they're clicking the button on the top right. If they're desktop or if they're mobile, they're probably clicking the button right there. It's almost like having 2 landing pages in a row. And so you might not know this, but typically you'll lose about 50%.
Decreases.
Yeah, by half.
Okay. Wow.
Just for every step you add, it's usually about half or more that you lose. Can you shrink that to mobile, just so I can see what it looks like on mobile? Okay. That looks a little better, but what I'd want to do is like, I want that to just be a headline. I don't think the pro shine, etc. stuff at the like, see how it's kind of like messy?
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of stuff going on. So I tend to just either really shrink the logo so it's like a very small, because it's literally the prime real estate is everything that's above this fold. And the first thing someone sees is the top, which right now is like a lot of blank space.
Right.
So I would probably wipe probably that button. So it's just the hamburger menu and the pro shine. That'll massively shrink the top bar. You have the home and then the site nav.
Right.
You can drop that. We want to basically build a specific lander for ads, which isn't the home page, because this page, it serves one function, which is conversion.
Right.
We actually don't see an offer. Keep scrolling. Yeah. And so this is actually where the conversion happens. So we're losing a ton of traffic.
Because they're going to the top part.
Oh yeah. The basic level of this is like, let's just have this offer clear and then eliminate all the other stuff on the page, basically. So let's go to the ads real quick. I think the one takeaway that I have there is you have more opportunity to spend.
Absolutely.
So like, I think that at the very least, we'd be like, we just want to continue to spend month over month, provided our ROAS and our CAC stay more or less the same. And the fact that you're already at 13-to-1 up front, and that's with like what I would consider like a pretty unoptimized page, like that might double to like 26, the changes that we do in the funnel. You might be able to go from like 5,000 like 30,000 a month in spend, which would be sweet, right? So let me ask you a question. If for every dollar you gave me, I gave you $5 back, what would your budget of dollars that you'd give me be? If you answer that correctly, the answer would be as many dollars as you possibly could. And then once I give you more dollars back, you take those more dollars and give those more dollars to me, and then I give you more dollars back.